Units, await my orders.
Hello, and welcome to my very first Medieval 2 Total War battle replay. This is actually my very first video ever, so forgive my ignorance, and hopefully you'll enjoy this as much as I did. Anyway, this is actually my first Medieval 2 Total War multiplayer battle, and it actually comes as a bit of a surprise for me. You'll see what happens. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm sorry about the lag here. My system is fairly new, and it runs this game remarkably well compared to my old one, but it doesn't handle the recording very well. It slows it down a bit. Anyway, let's speed this up here because this bit gets a little bit long. Sit here and watch some flags wave, or we can, alright, rather I can hurry this up. So, like I said, I'm new at this, so I'm going to prattle on a little bit, and I hope you'll forgive me. Yeah, my opponent in this battle, I should probably talk about him a little bit, because he was actually rather nice. Good guy. Prior to starting this up, I named the lobby Quick Match with a Newbie, and he popped in, and I asked him some questions, he gave me some pointers, etc. I actually brought a cannon here. I asked him about that because I haven't gotten a chance to use those in single player yet, so it's way out here, but he apparently predicted exactly where I'd put it, because he's put all his guys over here, and he's playing, surprisingly, the Aztecs. As you can probably tell, I'm playing the French. But as you can see here, he's jordanedieb, or dieb, or something like that. I'm not sure. He'll probably correct me if he's ever watching this. But the gist of it is, I set my infantry up here with some archers and a lot of cavalry. I put 2 units of Flemish pikemen over here to defend my bombard with 1 unit of French archers, dismounted French archers. I've got 1 unit of mounted French archers, 1 unit of noble knights, and another one of chivalric knights, and 2 units of dismounted chivalric knights, along with 2 more units of dismounted French archers. I'm not entirely sure what he's got, and even if I knew I couldn't pronounce most of these names, but he's got a couple of units of these guys, some eagle warriors, some jaguar warriors, a few coyote priests, and spearmen, Aztec spearmen. These guys are annoying for my cav, but as you'll see here, yeah, sorry, like I said, forgive the lag. As you can see, I'm peppering the hell out of his infantry with my archers. But even so, they're going to slam into my knights here. Oh, look, there's coyote priests. I've got my cavalry trying to get out on this flank. You can see his spearmen in the background here trying to intercept while my archers run away. Actually get caught up a little bit on his spearmen. And as you can see, I am laggy here, which I again ask you to forgive me for. But this turns into a great big brawl, and my knights do pretty well, which is to be expected because I upgraded them with armor, weapons, and some experience chevrons. As far as I can tell, Jordan's, I'll just call him Jordan here, his units aren't upgraded at all, but he's got numbers on his side, so eventually he's going to chew these guys up. I've got my cavalry running all over the place trying to avoid these spearmen, while simultaneously trying to get into a position to charge his infantry blob. I've got my bombard over here firing on the blob of infantry, which probably gets me a few kills, but it doesn't work very well. I'm not very good with those gunpowder units just yet. Got my pikemen here, they're doing nothing so far. I've got my mounted French archers peppering whatever target comes to hand. I've got my, I don't know what happened to my other 2 archers, they're somewhere around here. Anyway, I've got my cavalry coming around to hit him in the arse here. Ooh, and I just shot my own cavalry. Yeah, that was, he found that pretty funny, and so did I, because I had just switched to that new ammunition type, and I hit my own guys. Anyway, here you can see he's got some of his heavy infantry here. These are the veterans of the Aztec army, dealing with my cavalry here. He gets some good licks in, but I diced this unit a little bit too. But as you can see, my infantry has broken, my knights that is. You can see here some more of my archers, and I'm moving my pikes up. I missed this bit, or that you didn't see this, but I actually moved my other unit of pikemen up to deal with this blob of infantry. They're not doing so well. They're out of formation for some reason. Oh no, they're not. They just broke the line. My archers here are actually shooting my own pikemen in the back, which is a bit of a mistake for me. These guys managed to get into formation sooner than the other group did, so they're better off, but they're still not quite right. There's this coyote priests here, and I've got my cavalry once again running away from all these spearmen. He's got another unit of coyote priests to bolster their ranks, and there's another unit of my archers still picking off targets of opportunity. At this point, for some reason, my guns stopped firing. I don't know why. I think there's a bit of code in here that prevents them from firing to the backs of their own people, but I don't know. Or maybe it's just at the proximity. Here they're loading, and I think they get off maybe another shot or two, but after that they just stop firing. There's more archers back here. This unit of Aztec spearmen, which is trying to flank me, it looks like, and they're getting pretty chopped up with the archers. I get a nice charge in the back of his infantry here.
Something changes in the course of battle. For defeat, the enemy is badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, he's half dead. Woohoo! And as you can see, my cavalry almost got pinned. He gets some good licks there. But at this point, I've determined if I have any chance of winning this, which looks very doubtful, I'm gonna have to kill these coyote priests. So that's what these cavalry are coming around to do now. Got some more my Flemish pikemen who've stopped routing. They're coming back into the fray. Running through my guns here. I'm really hoping they don't fire right now, and I get really lucky because they just don't. That's the part where I notice they're just stopped at this point. Still don't know why that happened, but he's forgotten this unit of heavy infantry here. And it looks like, yeah, he apparently one of my units of knights came back and picked it off. The Flemish pikemen once again have routed. They've done far better than they should have. This unit of Flemish pikemen is actually doing remarkably well. He's my opponent here, Jordan, hasn't flanked me like he should have. He tried a little bit there, but he just stopped. His coyote priests are still a problem. Here, his jaguar warriors caught my cavalry, and I actually expected to tear them up, but I didn't do as well as I thought I would. They actually took a good chunk out of me, which was for me surprising. I haven't done much of the Americas campaign, and I haven't played a European power in it, so I was actually surprised by their effectiveness. Here he goes after my artillery, but it looks like he changes his mind. He's chasing after my Flemish pikemen here. This unit of spearmen then goes in to mess things up. My archers have just been peppering these guys the whole time with my cavalry archers. I think they're pretty much out of ammo at this point. I don't remember exactly when they ran out, but eventually I decided to use them in conjunction with my knights, on my mounted knights anyway. As you can see, I'm going to try and charge the back of these spearmen while they're distracted. Don't quite get there the way I'd hoped. They don't use their lances. But as you can see, my my heavy cavalry is pretty depleted. He's just going to surround it and start picking it off. Which, I should have shown you this, but I completely forgot this is when it occurred. But I managed to kill off one of his units of coyote priests, which turns out pretty helpful. At this point, he told me that I've lost, and all I could say was, yeah, pretty much. Because as far as I can see...
foolish general
Yep,
has thrown his life away, and perhaps our chances of victory with it.
Yeah, right there I just lost my general, as you can see, and at this point I'm pretty sure I'm hosed. Because I've got nothing but some units of archers and these two cavalry units left. So I've sent this cav in here, and they do pretty good, actually. Better than I expected, those French horse archers. They're pretty good at melee. Anyway, they get chewed up a fair bit. I mean, I do my share of damage, but that's it. At this point, I'm all over the place. I don't know where my units are, but as you can see, I checked this during the battle, and I was surprised by the casualty rate. Because I was pretty sure he'd done far more damage to me than I had to him. I mean, proportionally, he's got more men, but... I asked him about it during the battle. He said the Aztecs have poor armor. The Mesoamerican factions in general do, anyway. Honestly, I have to agree. They don't really wear armor. They wear animal skins and maybe some padded shirts. All they've got really is their shield, and I've got heavily armored French knights, men in chainmail, plate mail, etc. So my guys are pretty well armored in comparison. But I just can't cope with the numbers. They've got so many men. They also chewed up my heavy infantry pretty early on. That was a mistake of mine. I shouldn't have separated the main body from my pikemen. But like I said, this is my first battle. I'm still not very well versed in this game. Here, like I said, I'm using my cavalry to my best advantage to try and disrupt what's left of him. At this point, I've decided I've lost. There's no way I'm winning, because you can see the sheer number of people he has. However, I've noticed that
Seigneur,
my archers,
only half of
they're
our
still in
force
play.
remains.
And like you just said, I've lost half. And you might not have noticed there, but it just skipped. Maybe. I don't know. But at this point, I've decided to collect my archers all in one place and get things messy, because like I said, I've decided I've lost. So I'm just going to throw them into melee and die an honorable death. We can see what happens here. Speed this up a little bit. As you can see, they're going to come in here. This unit, I love these guys now, these dismounted French archers. They did a remarkable job. They're going to surprise me, at least, here. I don't know if you guys will see this coming. But, yeah, they really surprised me. They're tearing some guys up. I mean, these Aztecs are all exhausted. These archers are pretty fresh. But as being archers, I really didn't expect them to do so well in melee, but they do remarkably well. But anyway, like you can see here, they're chewing up some Aztecs, and I've got more of them coming in here. These guys. These are my bombard. I don't know what they were doing. And more archers here coming into the fray. I'm not going to shoot them up.
By Almighty God, our military genius can bring us victory from this debacle.
Yeah, see? I'm not going to shoot these guys up because, like you said, I've lost. So, I'm just going to die an honorable death in melee. These coyote priests are... Boy, they really kept these Aztecs together. All those cycle charges on their rear and then nothing. Get some. And this coming up here, I think, is where it happens. But it is remarkably surprising. At least it was for me. But you can see this massive blob of guys they've got here. And I've got these archers. They're just archers. They shouldn't be effective in melee. Or at least I didn't think they would be. But like I said, I'm going to die honorable death here. And as you can see in the upper right corner here on the map, I've got my other 2 units of archers, which I hadn't noticed during the battle. They're coming in on the flanks of these infantry, which probably helps me quite a bit. They're also tired, I didn't notice that. But they start chewing into this infantry, and they do a remarkable job. And as you can see, it started here. The remaining forces of the Aztecs, they basically just run away. It is surprising.
The battle's grâce à Dieu. Our men have slain the enemy general. Now his men will lose heart.
Yeah, I didn't notice that during the fight. Yeah, the enemy general apparently died, which probably contributed to this. These guys just panic. Their morale falls apart. And at this point, my opponent pretty much admits defeat. And I gotta say, this was utterly surprising to me. I thought I had lost. And so did he. So did the computer. And like I said, this was my first battle. So it was actually surprising that I won this. It felt good. It felt really great, but I was actually surprised to win.
Will be awed by our victory here today.
But yeah, as you can hear, he just told me I won. My opponent was actually a very good sport about this. He did admit defeat there rather than fight to the end, but he was actually pretty good about it. After the match, I found him in the lobby and I asked him why he quit, and he said he lost. And at the time when I was playing this, all the trees were in the way, so I couldn't see what happened. And he asked me how I could possibly be new at this. For me, this was surprising because he said I played very well, which, like I said, surprised me. I say that a lot, don't I? Sorry, new at this. New at a lot of things, apparently. Anyway, he told me that I did very well, and he wanted to get a rematch, and I would have loved to give it to him and get a recording of it, but unfortunately I didn't get to play that. I had to get off for the night. Anyway, like I said, that was my first match. This is my first video. I've tried not to prattle your ear off, but I probably have, so again, I ask you to forgive me for that. But anyway, there's the stats screen. Feel free to pause and look at this if you want. I'm gonna scroll through so you can... Yeah, there's nothing else to look at, sorry. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Those archers, remarkable. I mean, they really, really tore it up, and I did not expect them to do so well. But, yeah. Anyway, like I said, if you liked this, please leave a comment. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Yeah, in general, just hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely be spitting out more of these, hopefully with less babbling in your ear. Anyway, have fun, guys.